Thousands of Christians are being killed in Nigeria. Others are being kidnapped. Churches attacked. Communities destroyed. But here's the question. Is this purely religious persecution or something more complex? In Nigeria, one of the largest countries in Africa, violence has been escalating for years. According to Open Doors, over 3,100 Christians were killed and 2,800 plus kidnapped in 2024 alone. That's more than any other country in the world. In fact, Nigeria has been described as the most violent place on earth for Christians for multiple years. But these numbers only tell part of the story. When you zoom out, the scale becomes even more shocking. The group Intersociety reports that over 50,000 Christians have been killed since 2009. Other datasets like ACLED show that over 50,000 civilians total have died in political violence during that same period, both Christians and Muslims. And this is important because it shows two things at once. Yes, Christians are being targeted in specific attacks, but also, Nigeria is dealing with a much broader security crisis. So who's behind this? Groups like Boko Haram, Islamic State, West Africa Province, Ansaru, Darul Salam have carried out attacks on churches, villages, and civilians. But there's another group often mentioned, Fulani militants. And this is where things get more complicated. In Nigeria's Middle Belt region, there's an ongoing conflict between herders and farmers. Many Fulani are nomadic herders. Many farmers, especially in these regions, are Christian. And as land becomes scarce due to population growth, desertification, and economic pressure, these conflicts have turned violent. According to multiple reports, some Fulani militant groups have increasingly attacked Christian farming communities, contributing heavily to the violence. But it's not purely religious. It's a mix of land disputes, ethnic tension, and, in some cases, extremist ideology. To understand the tension, you have to go back to 1999. That's when several northern Nigerian states began implementing Sharia law. Today, around 12 states operate under this system, and in those areas, Christians can face discrimination, restrictions, and in some cases, violence for conversion or perceived blasphemy. This created a religious and legal divide that still affects the country today. And here's something that often gets overlooked. This violence isn't only affecting Christians. According to reports, moderate or non-extremist Muslims are also being killed and kidnapped. In fact, in some data sets, thousands of Muslims have also died in the same conflicts. Why? Because groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP don't just target Christians. They target anyone who doesn't follow their strict ideology. And then there's kidnapping. This has become one of the most disturbing parts of the crisis. Christians are often abducted from churches, from villages, even during worship services, sometimes for ransom, sometimes for forced conversion, sometimes for reasons we may never fully understand. And again, this doesn't just affect Christians, but they are often disproportionately targeted in certain regions. So what's really happening in Nigeria? Is it religious persecution? Yes, in many cases. Is it also a complex mix of politics, land conflict, extremism, and instability? Also yes. And maybe that's what makes it so dangerous. Because when belief, identity, and survival all collide, violence becomes much harder to stop. This isn't just about Nigeria, it's about what happens when truth, power, and belief are no longer aligned. If you wish to donate to help the people in Nigeria, here are the trusted organizations that provide emergency aid, security, and trauma care. Links will be in the description.